Donald Trump's tariffs continue to make the headlines, as Donald Trump always does. Our Claer is here, thankfully, to weave our way through it. I mean, on one level, I think people might think, what on earth, how on earth does it affect us here in the UK as individuals? How could it possibly affect us, and how worried should we be about it?
Well, it's been a hugely worrying time, but I think my key message for anybody who's watching at home to take away is try not to panic and make decisions about your finances, especially in the heat of the moment, that you might regret later. And it's been so worrying for the last week. We've seen stock markets, not just in America, but around the world, going down very sharply. And then, when President Trump rolled back some of those plans to introduce tariffs, going up again. And that's the crucial thing. If you are somebody who looks at their investments, looks at the red line going down and panics, that, you know, the temptation is to do something, to act. So that's why, personally, I don't have apps on my phone where I can instantly see the value of my pension or the value of the investments in my ISA, because I know...
So people might think having that means they're staying across it, but your advice is actually perhaps don't look at them.
When we get these big market movements, these kind of unnatural things that are happening in response to the tariffs, in the heat of the moment, you can get very drawn up in it. But then look at what we've seen happen. You know, there has been a recovery in stock markets as he's pulled back from imposing most of these tariffs for 90 days. He's exempted smartphones. He's still going to put tariffs on a lot of goods coming into the US from China. And that's really the residual fear now, because the US imports absolutely massive amounts of stuff from China, you know, whether it's, you know, smartphones, electricals, clothes, toys. And the fear is that these tariffs, these import taxes, will just be passed on directly to US consumers. The price of everyday goods will rise, and that is what economists fear could tip the US and also the global economy into recession.
Don't panic. If you don't need to panic right now, let the whole dust settle and ride it out.
Exactly. And we've got some good news from JD Vance, the Vice President. He's made some positive comments about the trade deal that the UK is hoping to strike.
I saw that as well, but no actual details yet,
details,
though,
of course.
Lots of good positive noises.
Some positive vibes. I'm very concerned about pharmaceutical goods. I think that's going to be the next big thing that we'll see in the news, because we export a lot of medical products to the US, and people also worry if the UK could be flooded with cheap goods that were destined for the US from China, which could be sold here, which could affect the retailers here, although it leads to cheaper prices from us. So lots to keep an eye on, but the key message I reiterate is don't panic.
Don't panic, Mr. Mannering. School holidays now, and we're quite a chunky way in for some parts of the country, so people will be thinking, and the weather's not fabulous, is it? It doesn't look like it's going to be over the weekend. So if we're looking to book some sunshine to have it to look forward to, you're opening your travel clinic, aren't you?
I am, and certainly, you know, we did have a taste of the summer
we did.
last week.
We've been rather spoiled, actually.
Exactly.
We got used to it, didn't we?
So the Post Office Travel have released a report on the best value destinations for going on holiday this summer. So they're not just looking at the cost of getting there, but the cost of spending money on different items when you're there.
That can trick you, can't it? You'll suddenly spend a fortune on food or bottled water, for instance, if you're in a foreign part of the world that you need.
So they've come up with this thing called the Holiday Cost Barometer, where they look at a basket of 8 different things, including meals, coffees, drinks. On this basis, they can reveal that the best value place for Brits to go abroad this summer is Portugal's Algarve.
I would have thought that was relatively high price. I would have guessed perhaps, you know, Albania, Bulgaria, some of those other beautiful countries.
Of the 47 destinations they looked at, that came out the cheapest in their travel barometer for cost, spending costs. For the first time in 9 years, it's topped the charts. At the other end of the spectrum, most expensive, you probably won't be surprised to hear, is New York in America.
Doesn't surprise me.
Very, very expensive.
Place.
All of the tipping as well that goes on makes things more expensive. Now, within Europe, the most expensive destination was in the south of France, Nice. That's gone up quite a lot over the year. But I think all of this helps to explain why package holidays are becoming more and more popular with people booking holidays, because we want certainty of the cost, certainty of the amount we're spending. We want to relax in the sun and enjoy ourselves without worrying too much about money.
Especially if you've got those all-inclusives. Now, we don't like to think of something going wrong on a holiday, do we? But things do.
They do.
So often what we forget and can be an extra expense is travel insurance.
And very much in the news at the moment, those awful floods in Lanzarote, stormy weather, disruption for locals and holidaymakers alike. But this is a reminder of how crucial travel insurance is. I would say my first tip is book your travel insurance at the same time when you book your holiday, because yes, climate change, weather-related incidents, airport disruption, they're all things that could happen, but perhaps more likely is that something will happen to you and your health that will mean you can't go on your holiday. If you leave your holiday insurance booking until the last minute, then if anything like that does happen, you won't be covered. So book your policy when you book your holiday. Secondly, those of us with medical conditions, let's face it, pretty much everybody nowadays, you'll be charged more for your travel insurance. So now that it's only Easter, take your time to shop around for an annual policy or a single trip policy for your holiday. Now, there's a really brilliant government-backed money helper website that I want to tell people about. You can find specialist medical insurers who will really cut your cost of cover, and it's free to use their directory. I've linked to it in my Instagram story today.
Great.
I've also tagged you, so check that out.
Thank you.
Finally, if you're hiring a car, you know the drill. You get to the desk and they try and upsell you insurance to cover the huge amount of excess that they can charge you if anything goes wrong or you have an accident. Well, look up car hire excess insurance before you go away. Instead of paying hundreds of pounds at the desk, around £50 you can get an annual policy that would cover you if anything went wrong. I do that. It saves me money every year. And finally, digital bank cards. Still time to apply for one of those. The main four big ones, Monzo, Starling, Chase and Revolut. You can save money then when you're spending money abroad, because you won't be charged currency conversion fees, which many UK high street banks would load on top of your holiday costs.
On top, and easier to get the money out as well, actually.
Yes.
Because sometimes that can be very tricky. OK, you've got a warning as well as some positives, a new scam that might catch us out.
Yeah, so this is a sun cream survey, which the consumer group which has been warning about. People have been emailed it. It looks like it's come from Boots, saying complete the survey and you'll get some free Nivea sun cream. It is a scam. They're trying to phish your information, get your details to scam you in the future.
So believable.
Does look very convincing, so look out for that. It is a scam. Don't be left red-faced.
Because Boots often do their packages and bundles, don't they, as well? So remember that. Don't get involved. Don't give them your details.
Don't give them your details. If it looks too good to be true, it almost certainly is. Ready to boost your savings, grow your pension pot and make every penny count? Well, we've got loads of Money Clinic videos right here on the channel. Check out this one for even more expert advice.